And we've got some open doubles action for you here on table number 1. Jim Stevens and Adam Gilson back with you, along with producer Danilo Fattel, as we are looking at a match in the round of 64. Brandon Moreland, Trevor Park on the left, and we expect big things from them this weekend, Adam Gilson. And then on the right, out of the nation of Bahrain, on the Persian Gulf, that is A.Alzayani and his partner from Texas, Deliza Baumbach. Here we go. And if you've never seen Z play, he has some different things. Right now he's being a little bit traditional with a snake shot that goes wide of the goal. But Z can do some things on a foosball table that maybe no one else can.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Jim. I've heard that.
We'll hope to see some of that here in this match. Of course, Brandon Moreland. First chance to see Brandon here this weekend and his partner Trevor Park, Colorado State champions.
See Brandon bouncing there.
And what they finish in Vegas this year? Were they finished second?
I believe they got second.
Yeah, they got second in Vegas in open doubles. Boy, that seems like years ago now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Surprisingly, shockingly, to some degree, this is my first tournament appearance in 3 months. And I think 3 months is probably the longest I have gone without commentating a foosball tournament, not counting the COVID year.
Sure.
In a long time, we'll put it that way. During a regularly scheduled season. 3 months, a long time.
It was a long time. But I, along with a lot of other people, glad you're here, Jim.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, everyone's been very, very kind this weekend. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Did you just come up with that on the spot?
On the spot, yeah.
You were so good.
I could have said something different, but fonder seemed to work with that. Here's Z. A.Alzayani finds that hole near side against Park. It's like the first table tap of the match.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he was intending to do with that. It's like he cut himself short. Love that. Brandon Moreland, one of my favorite players to watch. He's a man with a 500,000-pound brain. I think he could think himself out of a box.
And apparently a very strong neck as a result of that. And he does find the straight hole here against Deliza. A couple of players from the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Metroplex, as they call it. And again, there is Alzayani.
That one he got out there deeper, Jim. That's what he was trying to do the first time.
Just talking to Z before the match and telling me they don't have a huge foosball program in Bahrain. So he actually competes under the Kuwaiti flag, which is a country very close on the Persian Gulf there. And it's 3-1. Great start here from Alzayani and Baumbach.
You're talking about the World Cup.
Yeah.
The team composition of Trevor Park and Brandon Moreland is one of my favorite ones. They complement each other so well, and I don't mean just like on how they dress. What they can do and their ability to switch is up there, I think, with some of the top 3 teams that we're seeing this weekend.
Agreed. Trevor, an underrated goalie, an outstanding forward. Brandon Moreland, outstanding at both positions.
And their chemistry is good.
Yeah. When you first said they complement each other really well, I sort of pictured him going, nice shot, Brandon. Oh, and a very nice shot by you as well, Trevor.
They're British.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. They do complement each other well. Now 3-2, Alzayani shot attempt, and again, table management. Yeah, this wouldn't be a bad time for a timeout for Big Z.
First time he went push, everything has been pull side. But again, he's hitting him tight.
And that one off the outside wall, off the 5-row of Moreland. Gets behind Baumbach, and suddenly it's 3-3. Back through the high lane comes Alzayani. Sitting dead still. A little bit of a wiggle. Going to call timeout here. So that's a good call by Alzayani.
It is, because Trevor completely changed his defense there. He was doing this fast wiggle, but he was giving 3 different zones or 3 different looks. And the timing was off. He has told me, Trevor has told me, that a lot of players, when they think that they've changed their timing, are still doing a certain timing within what they think they've changed their timing in. And I'm like, Trevor, you overthink stuff, man.
Alzayani will put the ball back into play, set it up looking for the lead here in this first game. They were up 3-1 just a couple of minutes ago in there. It's Big Z finding that far side of the goal to make it 4-3, and he'll call his second and final timeout.
And that defense was designed specifically to make that push happen, and it happened. So whatever Trevor was thinking he was doing, what? I'm just saying that what Trevor wanted to have happen there, even if it was getting scored on. So
I'm just listening and learning. You know?
I mean, Trevor has got his options. His options have options, and those options have options.
Yeah.
He's always thinking. He's talking to him is a trip.
But a lot of those options are optional.
Yeah.
So
yeah, optionally.
Here we go. Moreland puts it back into play, rushes it through the lane. Will set it up against Baumbach. Not wanting to give up that split pull shot, so she gives up the long. It's 4-4.
Moreland with a compact stroke on that pull. Hard to read, hard to race.
Compact stroke. Billy Pappas, Robert Atha, all of them mentioned it all. Yet still great power generation. Big possession here for Alzayani. Does not have a timeout remaining as he looks to put away game number 1, this time against Moreland. And he does, as he finds that hole down the middle.
That was
Abdullah Alzayani&Deliza Baumbach hold on to win that first game 5-4.
That was great defense by Moreland. That was a great shot by Z and by Moreland. What he was doing, he just completely changed his defense. The men were in the same positioning, but the timing and the wiggle was much slower than Trevor. And that was the first time he's offered a straight. That was a great pick by Z.
Yeah, it was a smart play. He took his time. Knew that Moreland was going to take away probably both corners, but wasn't going to really show that straight. And then he hit a very tight middle to win that first game. Nicely done. And let's see if that gets Moreland and Park's attention. This is a round of 64 match. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in this weekend at InsideFoods.com. And that one clears the zone. Moreland didn't catch it the first time by, but is able to pick it up off that back wall. Will now set it up looking to strike first here in game number 2. And he does, again, with that smooth, long pull shot. It's remarkable that specifically the players we mentioned, Moreland, Pappas, Atha, how much power they can generate. And it doesn't look like it, right? It's such a smooth stroke. The backswing is not real high, but it's still a very strong shot. This time Moreland is able to catch the pass. See if he looks to go inside here. A lot of switching there by Deliza to disguise the hole. That split pull shot attempt blocked by Baumbach. Rebound grab by Alzayani. Got some difficulty handling it. Sends it back to Trevor Park. Trevor, the pride of Southern California, one of the great players to ever come out of that part of the country. Hard to imagine that, we have known Trevor for about 30 years.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, he started in the early 90s.
Up in Glendale, California, where he and his brother Leonard owned and operated tables, first Striker tables, then Tornado tables. Another one of the great players, probably a future Hall of Famer. I think Trevor's got a pretty good shot down the road of getting in, but does not have a world championship. However, he was in 3 world finals in 4 years, from 2000 to 2003.
So close. And you see, when we talk about him being an underrated goalie, it's important to note what he's doing, the performance he's put on in the second game, the clears, the blocks, the passes that he's been doing. That is what you want from a goalie. Yeah. Just being as steady as possible and retaining the ball in his zone.
Trevor did finish just outside our top 50 all-time players. Now, we've talked about it on Foods Talk Live, which you can hear every Sunday night live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, or watch it now at Twitch at the Foods Talk Live Twitch channel. But looking at the year 2000, Ian Lewis Cartwright versus Frederick Collignon and Todd Lafredo, they had a match point to win that championship in the final, a world championship point. 1 year later, 2001, same matchup. They had a match point in the first set, and they had a match point in the second set. It was 4-4, second set, 5th game, and there was no win by 2 back then. Then 2 years later, 2003, they win the winner's bracket in open doubles, only to have Adrian Zamora and Eddie Gartman come back and double dip them. Now, even winning one of those three, and of course Trevor was right there with literally a ball away in I think all three of them. And there's the straight hole for Brandon, now 3-1. But if he wins one of those three with Lewis Cartwright, one ball, if he scores the ball instead of Fred, he makes the top 50 all time.
Easily.
Yeah. And he's kind of a shoe-in for the Hall of Fame.
And who knows what his career would have looked like after having won one of those.
That's right.
For him personally as a player, So it's amazing.
Yeah, as you like to say, foosball is a game of some measurement. Right? It changes. It changes over the years.
Millimeters. Yeah.
And certainly is a testament to that. I'm not sure there's anyone else, especially multiple times like that.
Right.
Danilo Fatel, our producer, over there enjoying a big double cheeseburger, hot off the grill, maybe yesterday.
Hot off the warming tray.
He's going at it, though. No cheese on there, though. That's disappointing.
It's really weird. Yeah. Let's just do a commentary on that.
Yeah. A burger, you cannot eat a burger without cheese on it.
We scared him off, Jim.
Yeah. Melted cheese, ideally.
Okay.
Yeah. 4-1 lead for Brandon Moreland and Trevor Park. They trail 1-0. Jim and Adam having a little fun. That's why we're here.
It is.
Yeah. DeLiza slowing the pace down, tried to bring that one down the middle. DeLiza, a former world champion, won here in 2017. Yes. A women's doubles championship with Sullivan Rue, and it was DeLiza who hit the final point to win that. And she leaped in the air. It was very exciting. And there's Alzayani able to find the hole to make it 4-2 here in the second game. So many world championship memories, and here in this kind of auxiliary pit area that we have out here that's separate from most of the tables. We have banners showing all the world champions, the Tornado champions from 2012 on. Of course, 2012, the last year that Fred made his way to the United States to compete in a tournament, and what a way to go out, his last tournament, and he triples.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're going to leave on a high note, you might as well leave on a slew of high notes.
Mm-hmm. Brandon will now put the ball back into play and look to even this match up at a game apiece. Round of 64 action in the winner's bracket of open doubles. Moreland. And Stubbs, that one, has some difficulty with it.
Yeah, you could tell he was going to have troubles with that because he had more body movement than he normally does. He's very compact.
And that just comes, and the guys we talked about again, Pappas, Satha, Moreland, guys with that incredibly compact release on the ball. And that just comes from repetition, doesn't it? It comes from years and years of playing the game. The 10,000 hours, which probably is more like 20 or 30,000 hours with these top players, and maybe more. With 6 figures, I'm sure, for Todd. Another guy with a pretty economical release.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Off the inside wall by DeLiza. Rebound grabbed by Trevor.
So he's been working that pass, but he is more than capable of scoring back there. Try to go for the pass again, though. And it's beautiful how that sets everything else up, Jim. I love that he's doing that.
Yeah, and again, the clearing percentage very high because of that. And anytime your clearing percentage is high, you're being productive. Big part of the recipe for winning. Another chance for Brandon, and he strokes home the long pull shot. We are even at 1 game apiece.
See, there's Vivian Park back there.
Here we go. Third game underway. Tied up at a game apiece.
So this is the big one here. Game 3 is always my favorite in 3 out of 5's, Jim.
Yeah.
Game 3, trying to figure out what exactly is going to happen. You've got these two masters, literal pro masters on the left-hand side, that have so much experience and are just going to try to put this into perspective as far as what is it they're going to be able to do going forward. Slot like that, things like that, that's going to happen, but they're going to tamp down. And we saw the big thing for that second game was that Brandon was doing what he had to do on his 3, and Trevor was doing great back to goal, clearing. His clearing was great.
There's Danilo. There.
And there we are. My goodness.
Yeah, we're on camera. Right now, though, it's Alzayani and Baumbach up 2-0 here in this third game in the field here by Z. Try to take it out to the far side. Park all over. It comes back to Alzayani. And he strokes it home back to that far corner. He has played well, and it's 3-0. We've got a timeout. Jim Stevenson, Adam Gilson, Tom Robinson here as well, Clay Toomey, the gang. As Tom here going to do some Foos Talk Live interviews and some features, and we're all going to jump on the air here with him as well.
Looking forward to that. It's been a year since I've seen Tom, and you know what? He sounds the same.
Yeah. What a great radio voice he has.
Sure
Such
does.
a professional. All right, Moreland and Park finding themselves down. A little tic-tac wall pass gets through for Brandon. And Moreland's quick, long pull shot blocked and then swept away nicely by DeLiza. Almost turning it right back over. That one's squibs. Back towards Park. Nice grab on the 5. Alzayani's quick chip up angle, though, stolen away by Moreland. Brandon coming with energy here on this possession. A little fake, and again trying to go to that long hole.
Baumbach's defense has certainly tightened up.
And DeLiza, also a member of Team USA on a couple of occasions. A decorated player who has won singles titles, and of course that world doubles title on the Tornado table. Always been a very athletic player with a lot of fire. Continuing to get blocks here. That's 4 in a row against Brandon. Moreland again, still looking to get his team on the scoreboard in this third game.
He's got to be thinking middle. Oh.
Instead, it's a straight. Now 3-1. Alzayani along the wall. A little shuffling defense shown by Park. Alzayani tried to get all the way out there around it. Taken away by Trevor. And Trevor on the scoreboard to make it 3-2. He is a very good shooter back there. He is a very precise shooter back there. Can hit tight holes with consistency.
Yes, and with very little tell. He's very good at that.
Yep.
That was a huge possession for Brandon there.
Alzayani with a big possession here. Will call timeout.
Yeah, that was a massive. Your team just scored. Your goalie just scored. You get the ball over on your 5 and cop it up back to the 3 of the moving forward. That's not textbook, Jim.
No. Abdullah Alzayani, DeLiza Baumbach won the opening game.
Yeah, and the nice thing that I've been watching about this is that Alzayani is just not back down. He is just continues to just play his game with the support from Baumbach and back. So it has been a very solid game. It's not been sloppy, it's been solid all the way around.
Abdullah Alzayani will put the ball back into play. Going up against Trevor. A lot of defensive movement. And finding that hole is Alzayani. It's 4-2. impressive performance from the man from Bahrain. Moreland looking to answer, but again, Baumbach out there to make the block, picked up here by Z. Looking to give his team a 2-1 lead. A.Alzayani trying to take it out to the far side. Park not giving him that one. It's blocked up into the air and off the table. Trevor. You know, for these top-ranked teams, Moreland and Park, I believe, now 4 seeds. Is that side? Top 5 seed.
Top 5.
But sometimes these early round matches, and you do go up against some very good players, as in this instance right here. But sometimes it can be a challenge to find the energy to get out there and bring it every single ball. But you have to, and they do, because that's in order to get into that quarterfinal round and beyond, you have to beat teams that are lower ranked than you. And right now, Alzayani is feeling it. He has given his team a 2-1 lead here in this round of 64 match, and still a lot of foosball to be played in this match right here. But you think about the potential of Brandon Moreland and Trevor Park going into the losers bracket in a round of 64, and you're looking at 6, 8, 9, 10 matches to get back into it.
Yeah, it's not a pretty picture.
Yeah, and then the motivation is there. Of course, it's 2 out of 3, but you know your back's against the wall at that point.
Yeah,
and oftentimes they do come back from these situations, but this is really early.
Yeah, and you know that's
at that loser elimination bracket.
Yeah, and that's no knock against Abdullah&Deliza, of course, but you know, on paper, the team on the left would be the one that you would think is heavily favored. But you're right. These early going rounds.
All right. Let's see if Moreland comes with energy here as we open up game number 4. Brandon brushing this one up.
And we know Brandon can do that. One of the more impressive matches I've ever seen was him and Trevor at
Colorado State.
No, in Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, when he just, like, they came back from a timeout against Moore and Robertson, and just and Moreland just turned to another gear.
Yeah, which he can do, which we may be seeing now. Let's see. Because Alzayani and Baumbach are going to have to close this deal. They're going to have to continue to do what they've been doing and maybe beyond.
I meant to say this in between games. Trevor has stuck to the same 2 defenses all the first 3 games, and now he completely just changed. He completely changed to almost dead still post over.
And the takeaway here by Baumbach, who has done a very good job defensively against Moreland, that's for sure. And the pick up here by Alzayani. A quick shot, though, wide of the goal. Trevor was all over it. Rebound comes back to Deliza. And there is a tendency, especially with players, and we know how experienced Alzayani is internationally, and he has visited the United States and competed before. However, getting in these sorts of situations, up 2-1 against a top-ranked team, is uncharted territory to some degree, and it's going to be a learning experience for him. And you do have to elevate your game. At the very least, you have to continue to do what you're doing, and that's not easy to do. You're excited, you're seeing the possibilities.
Yeah,
things can change quickly.
Yeah,
as they are. It's now 3-0. Timeout called here by Alzayani and Baumbach.
It's one of my favorite comparisons when we talk about the Roadrunner effect. And Wile E. Coyote is out there floating over the cliff, and he only falls once he looks down and realizes he's no longer on it. You know. And there's something to that about, you know, you have to practice not just getting good, but you have to practice these as the match progresses. More pressure happens, the reality sits in. Can you bring it?
Yeah, it's a challenge, and it comes from experience. The ability to do that is something that every great player has had to go through and had to learn.
And Z now in midfield, his 5-bar, which has been consistent up till now, has just not been present in this game. In this 4th game.
Here's Deliza. Shot down the middle, stepped towards the goal with a 5 on the rebound by Alzayani, and back comes that rolling pull shot to make it 4-0. And Brandon will call a timeout.
Now Park is one of those players that does not like skunking people. Does not like it. Thinks it's like almost bad luck. I'm not saying he's going to hit the ball in on himself. To go.
He might.
He might.
Yeah. Here's Z passing it through the lane and setting it up, trying to work his way back into the match after this flurry from Moreland and Park. And Al-Zayani does find the hole to the far side to make it 4-1. We're going to get a switch. Z moving back. Deliza moving forward. One of the few times in the history of table soccer here at the Tornado Championships here on table number 1 that we've had 2 players with Z's in their name.
That's some good trivia there.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've ever had that before. I'm sure I had that when I went and did an event in Poland.
Yes.
And probably China.
Yes.
But never here on the American Tour.
No.
This is Al-Zayani back at goal, trying to front pin. Not easy to do on a Tornado, but, you know, this guy, very talented player. And look at that. Old school.
Trevor just smiled. What are you going to do?
Yeah, right down the middle.
From his 3.
Yeah. And the timeout called here.
I don't know the zone that. You just don't move? Like,
I don't know what you do there. Yeah. Because technically it's just hitting right down the middle, right? Technically.
Well, when you say it like that, anybody could do it.
Well, then oftentimes they do within a couple of weeks from first touching a table. The old goalie shot where you just wind it up and just slam it, right?
A little kick in the air.
Yeah. And then you tell them after a couple of weeks, probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
You know.
That's when innocence is lost.
Yes. Z's going to stay back there. They've scored 2 in a row to make it 4-2. Moreland will put it back into play. Brush it up. They'll shoot against Al-Zayani with a chance to send this round of 64 winners bracket open doubles match to a 5th and final game. The switch, the block, the takeaway by Z. Again, this time kind of a brush up the table. So he has options off of that. Oh, and the beautiful pass here.
He's been working.
Mark to Moreland. Brandon finds the straight hole. We're tied at 2 games apiece.
Yeah, and, you know, I don't know where the 5th game is going to go, but this is where you've got to really, you're thinking about that digging deep and that pressure. Here it is. You've taken this team to 5th game. Yeah. Now what?
Yeah, it's almost like you've got to scrub everything, scratch everything, and start fresh here. You absolutely have to plan. What am I going to do on the 5? It's going to be my ball into play. What am I going to do? What's my approach on the 3? And come out with focus, with an approach, and you might have a chance.
And you might have, and you need to do that because that's what they're doing. Yep. That's what they've been doing since the first drop. So they have all this information now. The team on the left has all this information now at that caliber of play. I'm not saying the team on the right doesn't, but let's see what they use.
The team on the left knows how to utilize that information and process it.
Right.
But here's Z passing it through, and this is a big possession early on here in this 5th game for Al-Zayani. And he strokes it home. Might have cut that one back.
Yeah. So Trevor has changed his defense. He's tightened up. He's noticed that Z doesn't go deep with his rollover, so he has tightened up where he is in front of the hole. But you're right. That was a little cut back.
That little flick brush up pass by Moreland, and this is where Baumbach needs to do her thing, and she can be a very good defensive player. Guessing inside here, however, and Moreland does take it to that outside, the long hole, to make it 1-1 here in Game 5. Al-Zayani, though, coming back through the lane. Trevor, tight defense. Does that mean a corner is open, or does that mean the straight is open? It all changes as Al-Zayani shoots. Again, Abdullah. I heard that one wide of the goal. Rebound grabbed by Moreland.
That's where closers start filing their nails.
Closers be closing.
Yeah.
It's 2-1.
Moreland feeling it now. Body language has changed.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, in Vegas earlier this year, we saw a switch get flipped a couple of times by Moreland and Park, and Brandon takes it to a level that is equal to anyone.
But it was equal to the reigning world championship champs in that case. It's wild. It was wild to watch. Not surprising, but wild.
And one's going to spin back to Alzayani. Nice tic-tac lane pass. Alzayani is setting it up on the far side. All right, he's going with this, with the jet, the reverse jet. But that is a standard pin grip that he's using. That is a shot common in Europe on every other table but Tornado.
Is it just harder on Tornado? Or
harder on Tornado, yeah. The pin series in general is, but trying to do it off a pin, you're not going to get the speed of the pull shot where the options are basically the same. And that one's stuffed back into the goal by Moreland. It's 3-1. But a nice performance, though, from Alzayani and Baumbach, as they have taken this potential World Championship winning team to a fifth game and played very well.
And it's not like it's over, but this is that feeling you get, right? That inevitability just started creeping in. And a 3-1 in Game 5 against this team, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work left for them to do, for Abdullah&Deliza.
Jim Stevens and Adam Gilson. Clay Toomey has also joined us throughout the weekend. Lent his particular vision of foosball to us. You see Clay in the background there, waving. And there's Alzayani with a big shot to cut the lead to 1. It's 3-2 in the switch. Z moving back. Deliza moving forward.
He's so smooth with that 5. He changed his 5 bar in the last couple years. Brandon has, and it's just so efficient.
It really is. Shooting against Alzayani and squaring it off down the middle. It's match point for Moreland and Park. Closers be closing. And the pass and the quick push kick here by Alzayani, blocked by Park.
Wow.
And it's now 4-3. They're going to stay this way. I think they will. A 4-3 lead for Moreland and Park. And the timeout called here by Moreland.
Good timeout. You just, you see it all the time with these good players. They just know their table management and when to take timeouts. It's just a given he's going to be calling a timeout right then and there. Sounds like a lot of people having fun this weekend.
As they should. That's a great sound.
It is the Tornado Championships after all.
Hey, Billy Pappas sitting there watching this match.
It was Trevor and Billy that got dipped, right? 2005, 4? Was it Trevor and Billy? No?
They'd play together in 5.
I thought they got sent together awards.
Yeah, I think it was 05. They were second. Yeah, they lost to Yor and Cartwright, I believe, open doubles, and then in that same event, the championship doubles team was Colin Yundle-Afraid. For the win, Moreland chokes it home. So an impressive performance in the second half of the match, certainly from Brandon Moreland and Trevor Park, as they hold on to defeat Abdullah Alzayani and Deliza Baumbach 5-3 in the 5th game to advance to the round of 32.